Question 11 here says, what function does the third paragraph serve in the passage as a whole? So again, this is a main idea question. They're asking about the third paragraph as a whole and its role within the passage. So when you're seeing a question like this, you really want to obviously go back and look at the third paragraph, unless you happen to have the whole thing memorized, which you probably shouldn't. And you want to think about not what the paragraph is doing, but why. What role is it serving within the passage? So let's go up and take a look. Starting on line 20 here, the third paragraph begins, and yet public transportation is, jumping around a bit, the opposite of glamour. A last resort for people of various ailments who can't get in cars. In North America, they are right. Taking transit is a depressing experience. Overcrowded buses, wrestling luggage, tends to be underfunded, ill-maintained, and ill-planned. So all sorts of some issues with public transportation. Given the opportunity, who wouldn't drive? Hopping in a car almost always gets you to your destination more quickly. Quickly is something the author highlights. We might see that again. So the role of this paragraph seems to be, and I'm locking a lot also onto this word here, the yet, and yet the author is redirecting the conversation. They obviously believe very strongly in public transportation. We can see that from the first two paragraphs. But here, within this paragraph, they're saying not quite as great as it could be. So with that in mind, let's go look at some of our options and see if we can match that up here. Choice A says, pardon me here, it acknowledges that a practice favored by the author of the passage has some limitations. Okay, well, some of those limitations we underlined, right? It's costly in terms of time, and it doesn't get you to where you want to go as quickly. All the stuff is underfunded and ill-maintained, so yeah, those are definitely limitations. Let's go look at some of our other options and see if something yells at us. It illustrates with detail the arguments made in the first two paragraphs of the passage. It's doing the opposite. The first two paragraphs were talking about how great public transportation could be, and now we have some limitations, so choice B is not true. It gives an overview of a problem that has not been sufficiently addressed by the experts mentioned in the passage. Which experts mentioned in the passage? They don't show up. C can't show up. It advocates for abandoning a practice for which the passage as a whole provides mostly favorable data. The opposite of the truth. Doesn't want to abandon a practice, doesn't want to abandon public transportation. This dude loves public transportation. He wants to do it everywhere. So we're not abandoning it. We're not picking D. Let's reread A here. It acknowledges that a practice favored by the author of the passage has some limitations. That's it exactly. Choice A.